I'm Dr. David Pensak, and I'm here at the Fincas dos Jefes in Boquete, Panama, a marvelous coffee farm. And behind me you see the actual coffee plants, the drying racks, and the smell of coffee is almost breathtaking. It is so wonderful. It's a pleasure to be here.
David, a little background on you, because people are going to be fascinated about Smell the Coffee. They want to know more about the person who patented and found this. Your father worked in Princeton, did some interesting stuff. What did he do in Princeton?
I was fortunate to be born and raised in Princeton. My father worked for RCA at their research laboratories there. He got involved in everything from the early development of television to RCA's foray into computing. He was a physicist by training. And one of the things that made him so really special to me was he had many friends who would come over to the house who helped him shape how I grew up. One of his best friends was Albert Einstein, who used to come over to the house fairly regularly. I understand that he really liked my mother's cooking. I was only 7 when he died, so a lot of my memories are shaped somewhat by the stories that my parents have told, but I remember him as a nice man with white hair, and he used to sit in the sandbox with me. And when I'd try making sand figures, he would ask me really good questions like, why is it this way? What can you do now that you know that's true? So I have to credit people like Dr. Einstein for teaching me how to think and for beating up my parents constantly and saying, let him be a child. He has plenty of time to learn how to be a scientist, but if you're really clever, you can do both.
So you think Albert Einstein played a real important role in your being quizzical and coming up with this idea, which really seems like nobody has really thought about it. You sort of attribute that kind of questioning to Albert Einstein.
Absolutely. He was a vital force in my development when I was growing up. So I'm enormously indebted to Dr. Einstein and to my father for creating an environment where I could learn how to think and solve problems well before my peers could.
You went to undergraduate school in Princeton?
Yes, I went to Princeton for undergraduate school.
And what did you study?
I studied organic chemistry.
And then what did you do?
And then I went to Harvard, where I got a PhD in organic chemistry, and my thesis research was on how to use computers and artificial intelligence to design organic chemistry molecules and how to make them.
So you have been around, you've been always curious about how things work, and obviously, and the artificial intelligence and the organic chemistry has played a very important part in your professional life.
Absolutely, it's played a large part, because one of the things that I learned from my father and some of the other people at the university was that ideas come from either a need, a dissatisfaction, or curiosity. And my wife is a serious coffee drinker, and as I listened to her get frustrated with how a great cup of coffee, even a magnificent cup, when drunk from a travel mug, didn't taste very good. So to try to help her deal with what was a major frustration or dissatisfaction, I analyzed the situation, figured out that the problem was the aroma was not getting into your nose, and I solved it.
When you left Harvard, you spent a good part of your career working at DuPont.
Yes, I spent 30 years at DuPont from 1974 to 2004. I retired from DuPont at that time. While I was there, I invented and patented the first internet firewall, took that company public.
What was the name of the company?
It was called Raptor Systems.
And who bought it?
That was bought by a company called Accent Technologies in Virginia, and subsequently by Symantec, which is one of the major computer security vendors. One of the things that I'm enormously grateful to DuPont for was teaching me the difference between just having an idea and having an idea which you bring all the way to commercialization that has value in the hands of the users. Too many academic scientists come up with a really great idea that nobody cares about. So I'm very appreciative of all the time they spent during my 30 years there teaching me the difference between the best possible result and the best result possible.
And how many patents do you hold right now?
There are several through DuPont, and if you include the ones that are provisional patents and the process of filing, it's I think 38 or 39 right now.
And maybe you can quickly tell us the story. You mentioned your wife as to why you don't even drink coffee as a general rule. You're not a passionate coffee person.
That's right. I'm not a passionate coffee person until I married Karen and saw the incredible joy that it would bring her and how she would savor the aroma. And so I started drinking it. I'm not nearly at her level of enjoyment or volume yet, but I've learned a lot about that.
Thank you, David.